This episode of Direct Edition is brought to you by my fake Darth Maul from China. Hey, what's up, peeps? Welcome to another episode of Direct Edition. The channel is Fred Hall Direct Edition. Today we're going to be looking at a comic book haul. I bought out these X-Men Marvel Legends out of the dungeon in anticipation for the new ones that I just ordered. I just ordered the Warlock Wave, so I am so freaking happy, man. Like, I cannot wait for those to come in. So this weekend's been pretty busy. You know, I went to Dave's and I also went to my local comic book shop. And I'm just going to show you some footage of Dave's comics, okay? Yes, I just pulled up to Dave's. This is my dojo. This is where I learn to do comics. So this is Dave's 50-cent bin. As you can see, so a bunch of products on top of the 50-cent bins. Still cool though. Still gonna manage to find some gems in the 50-cent bin. Yep. It's so hard to shop. Look at this. I'm supposed to shop 50-cent comics. Look at this. I'm gonna show you something real cool. Get into trouble. This is the famous wall. And it trips me out because a lot of the comics that I want are sitting here. But they're just not. See? Look at Rocket. I wonder if they have number one. Look at the Wu-Tang. Still haven't cataloged it. I can respect it though. But yeah, this is where I get into my most trouble on this wall. Okay, so let's get right into it. This weekend, I ain't gonna lie, I went a little crazy. Spent a lot of money, but hey, you can't take it with you when you die anyway, so might as well leave some kind of inheritance for your kids or something like that. And hopefully one of my kids or, multiple, I got four. Hopefully all four of them will split up my collection and, realize the value of it. But anyway, these are some quick pickups from Dave's. There's going to be, in this video, it's going to be a two-part main events. It's going to be a main event from Dave's, and it's also going to be a main event from Archaic Comics, which is my local comic book store. A couple of videos back, I told you the guy was struggling. I went in there, and he's still trying to find ways to bring in more people. I keep telling him, hey, man, you need to throw like a barbecue or something, or you need to make up some flyers, hit the streets, do some advertisement. But it's only so much that you could tell people. I know if I had my own comic book shop, dude, I would be everywhere in my neighborhood and all over in other neighborhoods because it's old geezers like, myself. I'm not necessarily that old, but it's older people and younger people that's looking for comic book shops. They just don't know where they're at. And if you don't, put your business out there, nobody would know where you at. So without further ado, these are three wizards that I picked up from Dave's and also a preview book. The three wizards ran me 50 cents a piece. And most of the stuff you see from Dave's is going to be 50 cents until I get to your main events, okay? So let's get into some comics. I just wanted to elaborate on this Wizard 21 a little bit more. This is Jay Lee. This is the guy that I told you about that I really, really dig his artwork. He did a lot, in the Death of Wolverine, Wolverine versus X-Men. He did a couple Batman Superman covers. Really have respect for Jay Lee. I didn't know he was pushing 40 and above. And just real cool, man, to go back and read some of this comic book history. So, yeah. So I definitely had to give me some uncanny X-Men goodness. This is, I think the front cover is Cyclops and Jean Grey, and I think that is Mastermind in the background. This is part of the Dark Phoenix saga, Uncanny X-Men 174, 1983, which means this comic book is almost as old as me. Wow. And while we're on the subject of X-Men, this is X-Men 18 and 2028 Adam Kubert covers. Very cool. You got Omega Red, then you have Sabretooth. I bought these to plug in the holes and plug in the gaps of my X-Men run. And pretty soon I'll have most of your X-Men up to 100. So yeah. So you got some Wolverine goodness with Mark Silvestri drawing. And remember, most of these books are 50 cents. This Wolverine, because he's popular right now, this was a $2 book. And so, keeping up with some Wolverine goodness, I was able to plug in a lot of holes and a lot of gaps in my Wolverine run. This first one is Wolverine number 73. I picked this one up from a flea market, not from Dave's. This actually has a sticker that's attached to the cover where the barcode is, so I was a little upset about that. The next one is Wolverine and Generation X. This is number 94. So that's pretty cool. You know, Wolverine and Generation X. Then you have Wolverine number 95, which is pretty cool. That's him versus Vindicator. And then you have the Relic of Doom. This is Wolverine 113. It's all right. Then you have Wolverine 131. And I'm going to stop and talk about this Wolverine 131 because if you run across this Wolverine 131, it's actually some that's been recalled. Instead of him calling Sabretooth a killer, he calls him a derogatory term used towards Jewish people. I'm not going to repeat it, but yeah. So Wolverine 131, if you ever find the cursing version, it's worth a lot more money. So that's something that's pretty cool. And this is one of my favorite iconic Wolverine covers. That's Wolverine when he's in Africa and he's like saving this baby and, you know, it's arrows everywhere. That would be my second copy of that. And that I actually got from the flea market too. So, yeah, in regards to two of them, I got them from the flea market. The other ones I got from Dave's Comics for only 50 cents. So, yeah, pretty cool. Wow. Really? Okay, so I also picked up two more copies of Superman Man of Steel number 25, Black Suit, first Black Suit. When I got to the counter, the guy was like, or the guy who Dave has, you know, watched the shop, who I always chop it up and talk to, um, he was like, "Did you really get that out the 50 cent bin?" I was like, "Yeah, gotcha." Also picked up this New Mutant 72 for 50 cents. The funny thing about this is Dave has them for like $2 a piece, and I found this in the 50 cent bin. So once again, the guy was like, "Hey, did you find this in the 50 cent bin?" And I was like, "Yes." So got this for 50 cents. And let's get into your main events from Dave. It's going to be three of them. This is your first main event from Dave. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 261. My God, I mean, this cover is no man. Let's just go closer. Let's look. Wow, this cover is so nice and it's in pristine condition. If you allow my sexy fingers to interrupt your video, no ticks, nothing, just beautiful. Look at the flames. It's in the Mylar. Anytime I see anything in Dave's in the Mylar, I'm like, okay, it must be super important because he throws the regular books in polys, but when you see a Mylar, you definitely know that, hey, that's the one you want to go for. And I'm in love with it. Now, let me see how much I got this for. So it was half off of what's on the sticker. So got this for $7. Amazing. It is Amazing Spider-Man. Your next main event is Amazing Spider-Man 306. This is the Superman number one cover swipe. Is it Superman number one? I think it's Superman number one cover swipe. Not Superman number one. It's like Action Comics number. I don't know. It's some kind of swipe from the Superman cover. And you know I'm a sucker for swipes. Got this for $9. It's in very, very good condition. Like I said, every time I go to Dave's, I know you saw it in the footage, that wall gets me in trouble because I end up, man, going crazy. And the funny thing about these three main events is I didn't even get them off the wall. I got them in a box that was in front of the wall that Dave hadn't really priced out yet, but I found the ones that he did price, and I went for them. And this is one of them. Amazing Spider-Man 306. Is that 306? I think it's 306. Pretty cool. And lastly, we have Uncanny X-Men 221, the first appearance of Sinister. Sinister is right there on the front cover as soon as you open the book. Sabretooth dives at Sinister because Sinister is telling them, he's telling the Marauders, you guys aren't worth crap. And Sabretooth dives at him and Sinister catches him by his throat in mid-air. I actually had to take this book and read it. I mean, I was like, wow, man. And the funny thing is about this book is we're going to coin this a dumbass moment. I saw this for like $12 on eBay probably about 3 years ago. But I said, hey, you know, I'll get Sinister's first appearance later. Ain't no big deal. Back then, his book wasn't going for anything. But now, oh yeah, it's pretty pricey. But I talked to Dave and he gave this to me for $30, which is a fair price because this book is actually going for like $50 to $60. I've seen one dude try to put it for $100 because he has it slabbed. You're out of your mind. But anyway, yeah, first appearance of Sinister. All right, so this is my local comic book shop. This is Arcade Comics. I'm going to go in here. We're going to look around, all right? So let's go.
Before you get to the part about, hey, you guys want this?
It's all around.
And then it's going to curve.
So the first book I picked up from Arcade Comics is Deadly Genesis #1. This would be the variant. This is the first appearance of Gabriel Summers, who is Vulcan, Emperor Vulcan. That's Cyclops and Alex Summers' younger brother. He was ripped out of the womb of Cyclops and Havoc's mother when the Shi'ar Empire actually took over their airplane. So it's pretty cool, man. Love it. The next book I picked up was Wolverine #25. This would be my third copy. My first copy is like old and orange. It's like a tangerine, so it's old, dusty, and crusty. But I'm glad to have two mint copies. This is a Jim Lee drawing of Wolverine. And yeah, very cool. Now I've been doing my research on this book. This is X-Men number 36. This is the Phalanx Covenant, whatever. The thing about this, if you allow my sexy hands to interrupt your video, you see that red background right here? This is a more sought after book. You have one with like a foil kind of in the background, but this one definitely is the more sought after one. I think it goes for a little bit on eBay. So yeah, pretty cool to pick it up for $1. And so y'all know how I feel about Wonder Woman. This is my baby. I told you anything that I find of Wonder Woman, I'm going to pick up. So I found Wonder Woman 20, 25, 23.1, 23.2 for $1, and I definitely had to pick them up because, you know, what's going on now with Wonder Woman is she's so popular in her newer runs that if you find her books for $1 or for 50 cents, you know, anything cheaper than, you know, cheap like that, definitely pick them up because Wonder Woman is very popular. And I doubt if it has to do with the movie because she was popular way before the movie even was introduced. But now that the movie is being talked about and it's about to come out, she skyrocketed a little bit more. So very cool. Happy to plug in some of the gaps to the ship of my Wonder Woman collection. Now the next couple of books I'm going to show you I bought at cover price. This is Harley Quinn #4 from the New 52. Definitely trying to plug in the gaps in my Harley Quinn run. I'm starting to like the guy who used to draw her, Terry Dodson. This new artist that does her front covers is very similar to Terry Dotson. So very cool, man. Harley Quinn #4. The next book I picked up before I get to the main events, the two main events from this comic book shop, Archaic Comics, is Harley Quinn Rebirth #15. When I saw this, I really thought it was pretty cool. I'm probably going to keep this one in the bag that it's in and going to pick up another one just so I could bust the other one out of the pack. So I thought it was pretty cool. I wonder if this is the first appearance of her Harley Quinn costume. Because it's pretty cool. I really do like her in Power Girl. Your first main event, we have Harley Quinn #17. This is Harley Quinn Rebirth. I really like this cover. It is very nice. I was looking for a second copy, but of course this is the last one on the shelf. So next time I hit the comic book shop, I'm probably going to go to Second and Charles and definitely look for a second copy of this cover because it's iconic, man. I really like when the old school Harley Quinn meets the new school Harley Quinn. Very cool. And for your last main event, we have Wonder Woman #34. This is older Rebirth title. Not Rebirth. I'm sorry. This is the New 52. From 2014, this is the selfie variant. I'm definitely going back to pick up another copy of this. Definitely have to get it. So yeah, pretty cool. So I was looking through my vacation video and I realized that some of the stuff actually got cut off. This is two of the books I actually found in Cloak and Dagger. That was the last comic book store that I went to. And this is Mr. Bloom. I finally have him. I couldn't just pick up one. I had to pick up two. Very cool. So thanks, Cloak and Dagger. Before we ended the video, I wanted to show you some quick pickups that I got for like $10. So, you know, showing you my X-Men Legends before the video ends. This is your Juggernaut wave. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I bought these out because I'm waiting on my Warlock wave to come in. So you guys stay tuned for that. Make sure you stay tuned. And definitely, because I'm going to film that as soon as I get them. So let's get into my $10 pickups. We have Grayson #1. This is when Nightwing actually became almost like James Bond. Wonder Woman 284 from 1981. A old Dusty and Crusty. I love this book. A modern Wonder Woman Rebirth #1. Very cool. Thanks to watching you guys' videos, especially like I said, some of the smaller channels. I see this book being thrown around a lot. So as soon as I saw it at Second and Charles for $1, I definitely picked it up. This is Justice Society of America, the Black Adam cover. Is this Alex Ross? I'm almost sure it's Alex Ross. Very cool. So I had to pick up another copy of this week 52, week 12. This is Isis, who is Black Adam's wife. I actually bought this off the shelf back in the day when it first came out. So to have a second copy, hey, why not? And to go along with week 52, week 12, I got 52, week 3. This is the first appearance of Isis somewhere in this book. Can't wait to crack this thing open and read that part where she first appears. And yeah. So I found this in Second and Charles, and the first thing I thought of was I have the bragging rights over my homeboy Comic Hunter 1014. And lastly, this is Wonder Woman #5, Terry Dotson cover. I really like this cover. I'm really digging this Wonder Woman. I think it's so cool. So yeah. So the stories behind these books is I was actually, headed home and my wife wasn't home. And I realized I didn't have my keys. So I was locked out. So I said, you know what? Let me just go ahead and go to the Second and Charles. And then I thought about it. I said, dang, I don't have my check card on me. I only have $10 in my pocket. Well, after sitting and thinking about it, I was like, challenge accepted. So I went to Second and Charles and picked up all these books for just $10. So you have one, two, three, four, five, six, 7 books. Well, Second and Charles does put like a 25 cents, so it's $1.25 really. But hey, I think I did pretty good for the little bit amount of money that I had on me. Once again, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Direct Edition. The channel is Fred Hall Direct Edition. Like, comment, and subscribe. Remember, you guys, life is short, so, do what you want to do in life. I pray that you all be successful, and I will catch you guys later. Peace!